Hey guys, this is Jabroni, and I am once again creating a video here, this time explaining how to handle these 5 square bases, which can be very annoying. Um, in fact, right now we're in a war where we're hitting a clan that has a whole bunch of these bases. So what's the idea? Well, in my opinion, the best way of hitting these type of bases is with some type of troop where the walls do not matter. And so that's going to give you choices of hogs, possibly miners. Dragons can work very well. I theoretically would assume that E-Drags could work, although I haven't seen it done. And I've also seen LaLoon possibly work on these kind of bases. Your key objectives are pretty much the key objectives on almost any attack, and that would be your Eagle, artillery, and your town hall. But what makes these bases tricky is that you also have these Inferno islands. And how are you going to get to these Infernos? Troops don't just go in to walls unless all the other buildings around it are gone, and therefore they start beating against a wall because the next closest building is the one inside. But with all these buildings around the edges, it makes it very hard to force your troops to go in to where these Infernos are. So how do you deal with this? Well, with using Hogs, the strategy that I've seen that works the most, if the Eagle is located here, and most of the time it is, then the idea that works is to bring a kill squad into the Eagle, take out that Eagle, take out hopefully the enemy queen, which is usually positioned here, continue to get your wall wrecker to come into the town hall, use a rage spell, take down that town hall. If the Inferno towers are single target, then you have to have some type of troops to deal with those single target Infernos, like balloons can possibly target them. But if there's defenses over here, let me change colors real quick, like this wizard tower, that can make balloons not path straight to the Inferno. So that's something you also have to consider. So where was I? You bring the wall wrecker to get to the town hall, rage, take out that town hall. You also have to somehow lower the CC troops. Often when the defenses are near this clan castle over here, you can bring in a hog or possibly some balloons if you're doing an air attack, lure out that CC, so that way it's dealt with. The nice thing about dragon attacks is you don't really have to worry about the CC. The dragons can take care of the CC on their own. So, when using hogs, as I said earlier, you're going to bring your kill squad, somehow create a funnel, so your kill squad comes in with the wall wrecker, takes out that town hall. Then, from either the right side adjacent to the kill squad or the left side, you're going to bring hogs to take out some Inferno towers, reinforce with more hogs, continue, and they're going to wrap their way around the base using heal spells to keep them alive. That's the general idea with hogs. So let me go ahead and take you to an attack where I failed using Jaflava, Town Hall 12, and then Jabu had to end up cleaning it up for me. He is a brand new Town Hall 13, and he ended up doing it with Hogs, which is what Jaflava had tried as well. So let me first show you Jaflava's fail, so that way we can try to see what went wrong. So on this attack, what you'll see is that I used an E-drag down here, and I tried to create a funnel. I think what ended up happening, why this didn't work, first of all, those Teslas did not help, which made the E-drag die too quickly. Jaflava did not also upgrade his E-drag yet, so if it would have been upgraded, maybe it would have survived, who knows. But I think the reason why this does not work is that my funnel creation was way too wide. I think using the wizard up there in the top corner was a smart idea, and then I end up using some ice golems, the Barb King, to start creating that side of the funnel. I use a P.E.K.K.A. You have to realize beefy troops like P.E.K.K.A.s and heroes, they're not going to be killed for a while from multi-target Infernos. If these were single-target Infernos, then this plan would definitely not work. I'd have to use balloons or something, or some freeze spells to prevent the single-target Infernos from roasting my troops. Anyway, back to this attack. one of the reasons that this does not work as well as planned is that there was that tornado trap. I had to use the Warden's ability to try to save this wall wrecker, and I almost have a complete wall wrecker fail. In fact, it dies right there, and you can see this wall was not broken open. But since there were CC troops coming out, because I lured them over here with the hog, my Barb King beats on this wall, opens it up, which allows the queen to eventually step in and shoot down the town hall. But that could have been completely disastrous. You really need the wall wrecker to come in so you can get that town hall. At this moment, I think I had watched a YouTube video where some attacker had brought balloons to take out this inferno. And so I was thinking I would use hogs, but then I made a really big mistake. I didn't continue reinforcing more hogs in this area. I instead changed my mind, started bringing hogs from up here, and so the hogs down here never got reinforced. They die out, and ultimately I think that's why this attack was a fail. Also, Jafleva's heroes are not really max Town Hall 12 level at all. They're only level 54 for the queen and level 50 for the king. You really need to have beefier heroes so they can survive longer. This Barb King up here ended up slicing the hogs. That was a major problem. So in the end, there were some big mistakes. Not continuing to bring the hogs from this corner and then reinforcing and wrapping around. That, I think, ultimately was the reason why this attack failed. Let's see how Jabu ends up cleaning this up. All right, so this one's done. Let's go to Jabu's attack. All right, so let's talk about, as this attack starts to work, what Jabu did. So he starts to create his funnel with the E-Drags. One thing I want to say real quick, he did not use a test balloon before each E-Drag. I'm not entirely sure why. My attack did not reveal if there were seeking air mines in either of these corners. If there would have been, these E-Drags would have died very quickly. So one thing I want to recommend to you guys, always have a test balloon before you use an E-Drag to create a funnel. Having said that, the E-Drags were a good choice. I mean, you can see the high value that the chain link from these E-Drags will create, taking out some defenses as well. So I think that was a pretty good choice. I'm a little surprised that Jabu brought these healers. What happens is that these healers end up dying pretty early, or at least they don't last very long. And so I don't really think Jabu got much bang for his buck. I think what ended up helping him is that he was a new Town Hall 13. He had a level 6 Royal Champion. And so that kind of gave him a little bit of grace here as to why this still ended up working. One thing though I want to say that worked really well for him, and this is something I need to learn from, he delayed the deployment of his wall wreckers. He had his heroes clean out a lot of these buildings here in the middle. Then he brought his wall wrecker. And so that was great, because the reason why that's a great idea, if there's a tornado trap like there was here, or if there's giant bombs or a Tesla farm, having your heroes take that out so the wall wrecker isn't targeted by all those things is absolutely ideal. Then you might not need to use your Warden's ability to save the wall wrecker so it can punch through and get the town hall, which is ultimately what happened here on Jabu's attack. So Jabu does bring hogs, and here he corrects the mistake that Jafleva made. He continues to bring all the rest of his hogs here. He continues to reinforce. He didn't drop just all his hogs at one spot. Look at this. He's bringing hogs from down here. So that way they're targeting this defense while the other hogs are making their way through here. That's a very important idea with hog deployment. The other thing as to why this worked out so well for Jabu, he has his heroes surviving for quite a while. Having those nice beefy heroes is key on almost any single attack. So from here, it's a matter of the hogs coming through, using heal spells to keep them alive. One other thing I want to say that I think Jabu could have done better on, he used 2 wizards early on with the kill squad. I would have saved those 2 wizards. They weren't really needed with the kill squad. Those 2 wizards could have been used for cleanup. Thankfully, since his hero survived so long, the queen survived, the king survived, and they both did the majority of the cleanup on this attack. So that's how this attack can work with hogs. Bringing the kill squad and the wrecker to get the town hall using a rage. and then bringing Hogs from one of the sides adjacent so they can wrap around with the heal spells, and that's how they can target these Inferno Tower islands and eventually give you the 3-star. Now, the next attack I want to show you is using dragons, and I want to briefly explain to you how this can actually work. My plan here with dragons was to basically take out 2 different spots that would then force my dragons to the town hall. So what I did is I used an E-drag down here at around 6 o'clock, and then also a stone slammer to target these defenses right here. And what happens is that this corner then is taken out by the stone slammer and the E-drag. Then I brought my heroes, similar to the attack that you saw from Jabrud and Jafleva, to target this eagle artillery and to take out all of these buildings. What that then allows me to do is to bring my dragons from here. And you can see from these blue sections, when those 2 blue sections are taken out, your dragons will then be funneled to go to the town hall. Yes, some of them will peel off over here, but a good majority of them will go to the town hall. Balloons as well, Warden's ability, use a rage, take out that town hall, and then use free spells and rages to continue taking out the rest of the base. Another thing that's really nice at Town Hall 13 is you have the Royal Champion. And so I use the Royal Champion to take out this Inferno right here. And then her ability took out this air defense. At Town Hall 12, you don't have the Royal Champion, so you would have to use possibly some bats and a free spell to take out possibly one of these Inferno Islands. But at Town Hall 13, since the scatter shots are also involved in Town Hall 13, bats are really not the greatest choice on many attacks, but the Royal Champion can help to take out that extra part. So let's go ahead and take a look at how this attack went down. Spoiler alert, it was a 3-star. To be honest with you, I was just trying to go for the safe 2-star, but it ended up working out for a 3-star on this attack. And so, like you heard me say earlier, I decided that I was going to use an E-drag down here at 6 o'clock, and then the Stone Slammer to take out the Scattershot and the Expo. I also used an E-drag up here a little bit around 12 o'clock. As you can see here, I did use a test balloon to try to start creating that part of a little bit of a funnel to get my heroes then to force to the Eagle Artillery. So E-drag creates the funnel up there. Heroes start to come in. Their job is to get that Eagle down, and also the CC troops, which I had lured out with the balloon. Once they do their job, then I brought the E-drag down here at 6 o'clock. There it is. Test balloon again. Stone Slammer, I froze the scatter shot to try to make the Stone Slammer last a little bit longer. The air defense does shoot it down. I was too slow with that freeze. I got a little unfortunate here. I brought an E-drag in the Slammer, and I thought that it would continue pathing to this cannon right here, but for whatever reason, it dropped down here and joined the other E-drag. Dragons come in to target the Inferno over here. I was too slow on my balloons. The reason you want to bring a few balloons before your E-drags is that they're seeking air mines, that it's much better for them to take out a balloon than to take out a 20-troop space dragon. So that was a mistake on my part. I froze the town hall, used the Warden's ability with the balloons, continued to use freeze spells with the air defense. As I said earlier, my Royal Champion took out the Inferno up here and the other air defense that used to be here between the cannon and the Expo. From here, it's just a matter of time with the dragons. Again, I did not really think this was going to give me a 3-star. I was shooting for more of a safe 2-star attack. But when things work out well and you use your free spells in a way that can be ideal, then this can lead to a 3-star attack. Guys, that's how you can take down the 5-square base using Hogs or dragons. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully it will help you whenever you hit this annoying base style.